audio ഒന്ന് ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യാവോ സർ?
ഇത് കേൾക്കുന്നില്ലേ? സാധാരണ ഇതില്
ക്ലിയർ ആണ്.
ഉണ്ടാവാറില്ല. ഞാനൊന്ന് ഷെയർ ചെയ്ത് കാണിക്കുകയും ചെയ്യാം. ഞാൻ ഒന്ന് ജസ്റ്റ് ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാം.
ഓക്കെ സർ.
കാണുന്നില്ലേ?
ക്ലിയർ ആണ്, വളരെ ക്ലിയർ ആണ്.
യെസ്.
ഓക്കെ സർ, താങ്ക് യു.
Dinesh sir, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Sir, hospital വീട്ടിലാണോ?
ഞാൻ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിലാണ്. കോളേജിലാണ്. ഈ സമയത്ത്
കോളേജിലാണല്ലേ? Alright. Okay.
Hello, Dr. Ansar. Is it audible?
Yes, sir, it's audible.
Okay. Namaskaram. We are right on time today. I'm Dr. Vineet. I'm the coordinator of MBR Academy. And we are here focusing on a platform. MBR Academy, right from the beginning, had been focusing on a platform to focus on an array of presentations in this unprecedented times of pandemic to promote uninterrupted and, of course, continued Ayurveda medical education. So I think for the past some days, we have been very successful. We have incorporated presentations of almost 4 to 5 very good presentations with very good participation also. So today, on this day, we have very eminent academician as far as equally a very good practitioner in the field of Ayurveda. We are very blessed to have Professor Dr. Dinesh K. Sir here with us, joining us in MBR Academy webinar series. Who will be handling a topic on applied mode of action of commonly used Aushadha yogas in different diseases. So speaking about Dr. Dinesh K. Sir, he's a very renowned person. Of course, no introduction is needed, but still, for the purpose of officially introducing Dr. Dinesh K. Sir, I would state he is a very talented person. We are very blessed to have such a person in Ayurveda. He is a professor of Department of Kaumarabritya in Vaidyaratnam PS Warrior Ayurveda College, Cortical. And he is renowned practitioner and academician and having a teaching experience of over 14 years. He has a specialized expertise in protocol making and management of autism in Ayurveda management and also in an Ayurveda management for children with developmental disorders. He is also having his expertise in protocol making and management of preconceptional care and also infertility management in Ayurveda. So, and also he is the founder of CIMD. It's a Center for Integrative Management of Children with Differential Abilities. And he's also the founder of AYUCAM, which is the Ayurveda Center for Autism and Learning Disability Management. He is the lifelong member of Indian Science Congress, and he's a member of INDRA, which is the International Network of Development of Research in Ayurveda by European Academy of Ayurveda. He is a member of World Academy of Sciences, Engineering and Technology, and is a member of numerous scientific committees and editorial review boards. And of course, he had been propagating Ayurveda, lecturing over and more than 200 conferences, seminars, and workshops focusing in the true spirit of Ayurveda. So we have with us a very good personality, the right personality of choice, dealing with the topic, and he is dealing with a very good topic, which is actually which is actually a very relevant topic for people who are rightly going from academics to practice. So he's dealing with applied mode of action of commonly used Aushadha yogas in different diseases. I am here joined with our Honorable Director, Professor Kunjiraman sir, and also with our principal, beloved Professor Dr. Muralidharan AK sir, and our medical superintendent, Dr. Smita Manoj sir. So, in fact, representing the fraternity of MBR Academy and all who are present over here, I welcome each and everyone to this session. And of course, I am handing over the session to our respected principal, Professor Dr. Muralidharan AK sir, who would be, in brief, delivering the keynote and handing over the session to Dinesh K sir. Over to Muralidharan sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Vineet. A very good morning to one and all. Respected Dr. Dinesh K sir, our Director Kunjiraman sir, Dr. Vineet, and my dear colleagues and students, and all other dignitaries who are listening to this particular webinar session. When we started a webinar session, we planned to have a webinar for our own students. That was a basic idea when we started with. And the success of it shows that we should have a session 2. That's the reason that we started with the session 2 from last Monday onwards, incorporating the well-known personalities in Ayurveda, so that the students as well as the delegates who are listening to this webinar are going to get benefited out of it. The main purpose of its seminar, as you all know, that the application level of Ayurveda, because the concept of Ayurveda has to brought into the clinical level, then only the popularity of Ayurveda going to be increases. So there are some good personalities, you know, that they could able to tell us how simply or how better we can transform this particular basic of Ayurveda to a clinical level, so that we can have a better practice. In that aspect, understanding the yogas also plays a very important role. Most of the time what happens, the students or the learners doesn't know much about the yoga, but still people are going to prescribe it. But I do believe that from this experience that we should have a strong idea about the yoga, what we are going to prescribe, on what level it going to works. Once you have that particular idea firm with us, then other than the indications, that's why I doesn't want to go in detail, because Dinesh are going to tell you that other than the indications, a yoga can be prescribed based on or on experience or on confidence on that particular yoga. So in that aspect, when you thought of, we thought that there's no other personalities better than Dr. Dinesh who can explain you and make you confident about how the yogas will be understood, and in pediatric practice, how they can be utilized in a better way. So that was all the ideas behind this particular webinar, and I believe that from day after day, the number of students as well as delegates who are attending these webinars are going to be increases. That itself shows that it is going to be a very good success. I doesn't want to take much more time. So a very beautiful as well as an informative session is awaiting for all of us to know that a very simple yogas, how it can be prescribed in a better way, so that the people who are going to get a better benefit out of it. So with that, I just conclude and I hand over the mics to Dr. Vineet. Vineet, please.
Thank you very much, sir. Of course, Dr. Dinesh sir will be detailing very quickly onto it. And of course, our coming sessions are tomorrow also. We do have a session from Professor Dr. Anju P. Ramachandran. She will be dealing with the topic on research methodology, a pathfinder in Ayurveda. So, of course, to all the listeners, we have a good number of people participating right now. Over to Dinesh sir for his very useful session. And students, please make use of this session. Thank you very much, Murali sir, and all those who are present here. Over to Dinesh K. sir. Thank you.
Thank you, one and all. Especially, I am extending my sincere love, gratitude, thanks to the MBR fraternity for arranging such a wonderful platform, for sharing my limited experiences regarding this applied mode of action of commonly used Aushadha yogas. And I am so happy that you people are arranging such wonderful platform for academic discussion, because all these are nowadays limited to certain organizations or associations or only to some colleges. But it is very happy to see like this. Anyway, without taking much time, let me go to the details. Before that, I have a request to all delegates that please try to switch on your camera if possible, because always I'll prefer to have a give and take response, at least from your face. Otherwise, the class is seems to be so arrogant to me, only to me, because it's my deficiency. So everybody should mute the audio, but at the same time, please switch on your camera so that I will get the face reading, at least some of you, whether I am communicating you well or not, because this is a heterogeneous population in front of me. So many academicians, so many great practitioners, so many seniors. At the same time, a lot of students. To deal with such a community is very difficult. So if at all you have any issue with understanding of my concepts, actually these are not my concepts, Ayurveda concepts, I am just revising in front of you. Just have your texting or raise your hands after this session, and let's have discussion. Then only the session will be more fruitful. See, my title is Applied Mode of Action, because everybody can explain the mode of action of each and every Aushadha yogas in terms of clinically, otherwise, if you are looking into dosha, amshamsha kalpana, Kaba Pitta, Pitta Kabahara, Kaba Pitta Hara, and Pitta Tara, Pitta Tama, all these are actually, of course, it is applied, but it is not a superficial analysis. All these are very deep analysis. Most of the time, so far a beginner is concerned, it is very difficult to apply in their day-to-day clinical practice. So how can we simply apply our principles to make a good clinical judgment of a given disease, and how to select a drug which is having a lock and key powerful mechanism to cut the samprati or to reduce the disease. And I will not be able to go through all the yogas. I will give you certain principles, and I will give you certain examples from each category of our principles. For that, I'm sure that after finishing this presentation, your doubts will not be completed all of a sudden within this 1 hour of time. So I request your good self to have log in this this website, www.ethicalAyurveda.com. This is my personal website. In that, there will be a provision to contact me through the mail system. You just have your email ID and name, if possible. Try to put your designation so that the answer will be according to your position, and you just give me the question so that I can answer you, because I have a system to answer in such a way that I have a team behind me to deal with this website, and I have a technical team to answer you. It's a process, so that will be more easier if the discussion is not completed by this presentation. Now let's go to the subject directly. How a disease can be approached. for the management. If in your OPD or in your IPD, probably a cough or dyspnea or the back pain is coming, how you should approach? Of course, you will have your own methodology. I am introducing another methodology which may be familiar to you or it may be unique to someone else, but it is unique to Ayurveda. Or otherwise, I can say that these are the main 5 methodologies which are being practiced by most of the practitioners, either knowingly or unknowingly. Both are there. Because knowingly we are using a lot of principle, at the same time unknowingly we are using a lot of principle. That number 1 is Hedu Viparidam. Number 2 is Vyadhi Viparidam. Number 3, we can do a lot of Rasayana. We can do Shodhana Chikitsa. And there are a lot of Kagadali Nyayam. Chaketapam oil we put the disease into a platform so that the Jwara paracetamol Nyaya will work. That is, Jwara coming, paracetamol prescription, Jwara will come down. Easy, happy, and we are also happy, and they are also happy. Sometimes, some occasions will come only for up to 3 hours. With the paracetamol, the Jwara will come down. Again, it will come up, and it will persist for a long time. Then the real headache origins. What I want to say, there are a lot of Yadricha Siddhi. There are a lot of Kagadali Nyayam. Kaka came, Tali dropped down. That is the Kagadali Nyayam proposed by Acharya Chakrapani in Sharirasthana. What I want to say, these are the different tools what we are using, either knowingly or unknowingly. Of course, there may be several other tools or a lot of tools are there in Ayurveda, but I am proposing only in front of you 5 methodologies. Hedu Viparidam, Vyadhi Viparidam, Rasayana, and Shodhana therapies, and Kagadali Nyayam. Kagadali Nyayam, for Kagadali Nyayam, we are not supposed to have any theoretical background. Only thing is that cough came, Dasmalarthra given, cough reduced, I am happy, patient is happy, everything is okay. There is no dosha jinda, there is no dhatu jinda, if the disease is cured. But if the disease is not cured, then again, we have to get back to the principles and we have to go through other details. This is what I want to say. If you see this machine, yes, something is coming out and the machine is cutting out. Again, it is coming. Again, it is cutting out. This is something similar to Vyadhi Viparida. We are not at all touching its basic root. Something is coming out either in the form of cough or Adhisara or epilepsy or any other diseases. We are putting some disease or we are putting some Aushadha Yogas. It will be removed for some time or it may be permanent even. But this is not a good treatment methodology. So far, at least 30 to 40% of your OP cases are concerned. I will say many of the people are doing Vyadhi Viparita treatment very successfully and they will get results up to 50 to 60% of the cases and rest of the 40% are making you more professional. For doing Hedu Viparita, you need to stop this machine. To stop the production of the disease ahead also. This is in need of some special skill, some dosha chinda in our system, and there are some Shodhana therapies we can do. That means dismantle all the parts of the machine into several pieces. You clean it and make oil and refit it. That is something similar to our Shodhana Chikitsa. This will also do wonderful results so far our diseases are concerned. Or you can have the Rasayana Chikitsa, that you can remove the parts and you can strengthen the plastic part into iron part, or you can strengthen each and every part of the machine up to your maximum possibility. and you can refit the machine, you can have a powerful machine. This is the Rasayana treatment. But while selecting for all these managements, for Hetu Virida or Vyadhi Virida or Rasayana or Sodhana Chikitsa, out of 20 gunas, my humble request to youngsters especially for the students even, try to select 8 gunas or try to fix 8 gunas in your mind. Try to fix 8 gunas. If somebody is having Adhisara, I am stopping it by Kudaja Arishta. What I have used is Shida Guna. Stambane Shidaha, one which stops. If I have the fever, if I am putting some stoppage drugs, it will stop for some time. Some other opposite guna of the Siddha is, all of you know, some which makes more functional or initiate functions. That is Ushna Guna. All of you know ice cream is Siddha Guna. All of you know the fish curry is Ushna Guna. Or you know better the Kirata Tikta is Siddha. Shundi is Ushna. Shundi will make functions more. Kirata Tikta will stop the functions. These 2 gunas are more familiar to you, Shida and Ushna. Otherwise, you can say Takradara, you can do Shida, Pidichil, you can do Ushna. Similarly, each and every drug has to be identified in terms of 8 gunas at least. It doesn't mean that you have to apply all the 8 gunas in each and every disease. No, it's not like that. I'm telling about simple methodologies, very simple methodologies. So you just identify a drug in terms of Shida or Ushna, Snigdha or Ruksha. All of you know any fried items or wafer or biscuit, that is Ruksha. That is Ruksha. If you are taking the ice cream or if you are taking the grida, that is Snigdha. All of you know that. Similarly, you have to apply in drugs also. If it is Haridagi, it is Ruksha. If it is Bela, it is Snigdha. If it is Punarnavadi Kwada, it is Ruksha. If it is Vidaryadi Kwada, it is Snigdha. Similarly, you have to apply either the Snigdha or Ruksha application in each and every drug or activity or vihara or environmental things. Next is Tikshna and Manda. One which helps to clear out, like Eranda Taila or Icha Bediresa or anything which clear out is Tikshna. Anything which pacifies, make Samanatva is Manda. Now the Guru and Lagu. One which is heavy like chicken biryani is Guru. Something which you take as like this black tea, that is Lagu. Chicken biryani is Guru, black tea is Lagu. Hot water is Lagu, cold water is Guru. Okay, Guruji, up to some extent it is Lagu. Vidari, it is Guru. Likewise, you just identify each and every drug in terms of at least these 8 gunas. It doesn't mean that every drug has to be evaluated regarding these 8 gunas. No, at least 1 or 2 gunas has to be applied in each and every drug which are using in your clinic in day-to-day practice, like Ashtachurna, Rajanyadi Churna, Ashtavargan Kashaya or Maharasnadi Kashaya, like that. It is inevitable to do Vyadhi Viparita Chikitsa and Hetu Viparita Chikitsa. Now, the second exercise is, this is little bit theoretical, but if you are little bit proficient enough to do this, your treatment will be very simple. The explanation of mode of action of each and every drug will be very simple. I will give you one example. You might have seen Amavada Chikilsa, isn't it? In Amavada Chikilsa, you might have seen or you might have experienced, you are writing Shadharana Churna for Devana Bhajana. Shadharana Churna for Devana Bhajana. Okay. And why you are not selecting Ashta Churna or Hinguvajadi Churna for Devana Bhajana in Amavada? This is my humble question. You think about it. Because unknowingly we know, or by practice from our teachers, we know that Shadharana is best to make Devana Bhajana at the joints. The Hinguvajadi Churna or Ashta Churna will not create Devana Bhajana at the joints. So we will prescribe Shadharana instead of Ashta Churna. If somebody is having an abdominal pain, or if somebody is having any abdominal discomfort, acid peptic disease, simply you will not prescribe Shadharana. Instead, you will go for Ashta Churna or Hinguvajadi Churna. Why? Knowingly or unknowingly, you know that Ashta Churna and Hinguvajadi Churna is having best action in the costa rather than joints or on the head. Okay, the best action of Ashta Churna and Hinguvajadi Churna is costa. From this, at least you have a judgment that each and every drug has its own seat to work, its own chair to work. That is either in the costa or in any of the dadus or in the Madhyama Roga Marga, or it will be in the Bahya Roga Marga. How can we identify that? That is the basic principle of this class, that we should identify each and every drug. Punarnavashtagam, Rasa, Rekta, Kapha, Pitta, Hara. Guduchadi, Rasa, Rekta, Pitta, Kapha, Hara. Ashtachurnam, Vata, Kapha, Hara, Rasa, Dhadu. Likewise, each and every drug has to be evaluated in terms of its seed, in terms of its chair. This is actually an evaluation of doshaharatva, evaluation of guna. That how can we do very easily? That I will say. In that scenario, I can't resist myself from saying that don't go behind the active principles of each and every drug, ingredient drug. In terms of modern principles that yes, Bela is good in ephedrine is good to heart, and ephedrine is good to autonomic nervous system, so we can apply that. It is utterly wrong. Of course, sometimes it will help you. Even I am using many a times. For example, in case of interstitial lung disease, progressive fibrosis is happening in lungs. And I read several articles regarding the fibrinolysis capacity of Pipali. I use Pipali Vardhamanam in ILD. I use wherever the fibrin deposition are happening, I use Pipali. That is according to the modern principle. But I have a lot of Ayurveda justification behind it in terms of dosha and dhatu. And on the basis of dosha and dhatu, I want to use Pipali in Pitta Pradosha Vigara, Rekta Pradosha Vigara, even though fibrin deposition is happening. You are getting my point, it seems. So, my humble point is that don't go solely behind the active principle. Let me just note a special research which has happened in Ayurveda, that Ksheerabala is having a lot of somnolence capacity. It is good for insomnia if you are applying over the head or over the foot also. And a lot of reductionistic attitude scientists worked on Ksheerabala, and finally they found that Ksheerabala is consisting of nothing but fat globules. Will this fat globule will work on somnolence? No. Either the research is defective, otherwise our Ksheerabala is beyond their microscope. Right? So I will say several other examples. like tomato consumption is, and prostate cancer will be caused by tomato consumption. Once upon a time, 80s, there was a good list in front of every cancer hospital. Don't take cabbage, don't take tomato, don't take that, don't take this, don't take this one. After 1 month or 2 months of time, there is another paper came, tomato is good for cancer. So the patient confused whether I need to take the tomato or not. The exact theory behind is that, of course, there are some lycoperdin which is present in the tomato, which is causing the cancer, and which is evidenced in mouse experiment, guinea pig experiment, in some doses of the lycoperdin. And that lycoperdin, if it is injected into that animal, it will create a lot of neoplasm. Of course, but in that dose, if we want to take the lycoperdin, at least we should take a lorry of tomato. A lorry of tomato has to be taken to achieve that much dose. It is impossible. At the same time, the esculentine which is present in the tomato is having anti-carcinogenous effect. We are not taking lycoperdin. We are taking whole tomato. Whole tomato is not lycoperdin. This is the basic principle behind it. So the key to dosha dusha analysis is that just go and read 3 topics. So far as Vata is concerned, Vata Vyadhi, you can see Toji Sputana Rutshada, Rekte Tivra Ruja Swapa Tapa Raga Vivarnada, Arum Shanasya Vishtamba Maruji Krisidam Brahmam. This you need to by heart, no doubt at all. Yes, Maitreyi Nechil is in front of me. She is just lipping the same slogas because we are giving imposition to study these slogas in my classes. Unless and until you don't study this, you are not supposed to come into my clinical classes even. And you look into the Pitta, Pittam Tojistidam Kuryat Vispotagama Suriga, Rekte Visarpam Daham Mamse Mamspaka Kodanam, which is explained in Ashtanga Sangraham, Sutra Sthanam, 19th chapter. You have to by heart it. Now, if you look into the Dosha the Vijnaniyam of Ashtanga Sangraham Sutra Sthanam, you can see the Slashma Tojistidam, Kuryal Stabdam, Shvedava Bhasadam, Pandwamayam Shonidago, Mamsa Samstu Arbudabajim, such slogas are mentioned. This is the key to understand which is the dosha in a disease, which is the dusha in a disease. If you are ready to bypass the whole Nidana Sthana, this is the Sutra Sthana key to understand the dosha dusha. Of course, all these are very well elaborated in the Samprapti or in the Nidana Sthana of each and every Samhita. But you will get some confusion in that. This is the key role to explain such a clinical symptomatology like if it is scleroderma, that is the sabdata of tok caused by kapha in tok. If it is leukoderma, up to some extent it is slashma in tok. If it is the bullous lesion, it is pitta in tok. If it is the chickenpox, it is pitta in tok. If it is vipadiga, it is vata in tok. If it is soft tissue rheumatism, it is pitta, it is vata in recta. If it is severe painful migraine, it is vata in recta. If it is fibromyalgia, it is vata in mamsa and mathas. If it is diabetic gangrene, it is kapha and pitta in mamsa and mathas. If it is kapha is in the mamsa and mathas, that can create a lot of neoplasm and cyst. Such explanation is possible only if you are thorough with those slogas which I have mentioned previously. Osteochondroma, kapha in asti. Severe pallor, nakanayana saukliam, kapha in majja. Iron deficiency anemia, kapha in recta. All other pandu, which is pitta in resa. If it is thick semen, that is kapha in shukradadu. It is not got lysis even after 1 hour. Kapha in shukradadu. If the RBC is present in semen, that is pitta in shukra. If it is premature ejaculation, it is vayu in shukradadu. If it is pitta in majja, that is osteomyelitis and hemolytic anemia. So such derivation of clinical symptomatology is possible only if you study these three slogas, only three slogas, that has to be studied very well, especially for the students, what I am telling. If it is on the Vata in Amasya, recurrent vomiting, Kapavadika type of migraine, if Pitta in Rekta, Vata Pitta type of migraine, Pitta in Amasya, peptic ulcer, Pitta in Snayu, anger, Siragatam, Krodanatam, Pralapam, Sirasnayu, anger. If it is the joint pain, not only Vata in Asti, Vata in Sandhi, it can happen in Kapha in Snayu. Sometimes you might have seen that certain people who are having sedentary life habit, there is no osteoarthritis, there is no tenderness, still joint pains are there. That is Kapha in Snayu. Do just only some Manalkai. Baluka Potali Swedam, it will come down. So this type of interpretation is very well needed. With this in your hand and brain, with this in your hand and brain, if you are going to explain the details of each and every Aushadhi yogas, let us see each and every dhatu, each and every dosha. I will give you one examples to some dhadus, to some dosha haratva, then you will come to know how to explain the mode of action of Ayurvedic analysis of mode of action of each and every Aushadha yogas in front of you. Clear? Hope this much is clear to you. Now let us, somebody should shake the head otherwise like this, either the horizontal or the perpendicular, then only I will be able to move ahead. Okay, fine. That is the reason why, because I told you to open your cameras. Okay, fine. Aushadha yoga analysis. This is the Gandharvasadi Kwada, which is most widely used by Kerala practitioners. I am sorry for the non-Malayalis for putting this sloga in Malayalam. If you are referring the Sahasra Yoga in English or Hindi version, Gandharva hasta chirvillo hudasha vishapatya punarnava yavashaka bhumitale kwata sasaindava gulam. See, everybody in front of me except certain students who have not reached the 3rd year or 4th year know this yoga, Gandharvasadi Kashaya, which can be used for good shodhana or good anulomana of Apanavada. This is true. Everybody know. And even the dispensing people in pharmacy know very well that it is good for getting a good bowel. That is the Jara paracetamol Nyaya explanation of Gandharvasadi Kwada. Yes, this is good for anulomana. But being Ayurveda doctors, we should analyze it in terms of its guna. At least 3 gunas. At least 1 guna. Whether it is Ushna or Sida. Something is Pravartaka. Something is Pravartaka. If it is Pravartaka, that will be Ushna. A Sita cannot be a Pravartaka. And all we know, it is good for Archas, good for Abhana Dosha, good for Agni Dipti. Good for Agni Dipti. These are all common man's knowledge, or what we can say, the common student level knowledge regarding the Gandharvasadi. And you should know that as it is Ushna, it should be Kapavadahara. Not only that, Eranda Moolam, Ushnam, Kapavadaharanam Sreshtam. As it is acting on the Apanavada, its seat of action, its main chair is present in Pakvashaya. So now let us see from that sloga which I have mentioned previously, what is the Lakshana of Vata in Pakvashaya. Tatra Pakvashaya Kuddha, Shula, Anaha, Andragujanam, Malaroda, Asma, Vartma, Arsha, Trika Prishta Katigraham, Karotyadarakaye Shuchatamstan, Kritsranubadravan. So it is good for Mutrasmari, it is good for hernia, it is good for leg pain, it is good for constipation, it is good for lot of symptomatologies related to Pakvashaya and Vata. You are getting my point, it seems. Now, I will just jump into some other indications which I am using. This is the secondary explanation of Apanavada Dushti. If a combination of constipation, headache, and chest pain is coming, constipation is there, headache is there, chest pain is there. All we know, Vyadhi Viparitam, constipation should be relieved. Because from Apanavada, it has came upward and put this pitta from its side towards upper area. That is why gastroesophageal reflux disease, pitta is coming out. And it has created a lot of issues in the head also, headache and jerk. So we have to cut the hedu. We have to cut the hedu, that is, Apana is the main source of its samprapti. So in that Gandharvasati is the best option. Now let us see what is happening to this child. This is one of the child. She is having a myoclonic jerk. Myoclonic jerk. This is associated with a special complication of measles that is called as subacute sclerosing panencephalitis. You don't bother about the name of that disease that is peculiar to, that's a very rare disease. But whatever may be a myoclonic jerk related to any disease, this is a type of Akshebhagavada Vyadhi. This is a type of Apatantragavada Vyadhi. Now, what is the use of Gandharvasadi in such cases? Let us see. This is Vyanan. Prasarana Gunjana Pravarti is Vyanan. Vyanan is Hrudi. It is at the seat of heart, because heart is the seat of Vyanavayu. And we know the dhatu which is responsible or which is residing in the Hridaya is Rasadhatu. But the movement is contributed always by Sirasnayu. So what is the connection between Rasadhatu and Sirasnayu? That is very well explained in Apatantraga Vadavyadi. But its origin is from Apana. Adapratihado Vayu. Brajanurdum Hridasraya. Nadi Pravisya Hridayam Shirasanga Uchapitayan Archipel Parido Gatram. So the basic samprapti which is originated from the Apana, it has reached to Hridaya and it has reached to Damani and Sirasnayu. It has created a lot of issues. If you are writing the Kalyana and Gashaya, nothing will work out. If you are writing the Ashtavarga Gashaya, a minimal clinical observation positivity you will get. But if you write the Gandharvasadi Kvada, otherwise you should inquire, is there any Apana Dushti with this child? Whether there is a presence of inguinal hernia, whether there was a history of chronic indigestion, whether there was a history of chronic constipation, whether there was any history of appendicitis, whether there was history of any nephrolithiasis, whether there was any history of dysuria, if it is present. Otherwise, I will say, it will be only the Ayurveda doctors from India. They will ask the history of constipation related to myoclonic jerk in the universe. Only the Ayurveda people will inquire such a history. Yes, whether you had any nephrolithiasis or whether you had any inguinal hernia, and all the medical professionals will put their eyes out. And they will inquire, why you are asking such a fishy question? Yes, it has matter. And I will show you by clinical improvement, I will show you what is the basis of that history of inguinal hernia. And we will give either the Dhanvantara Grida or Sukumara Grida or this Gandharvasadi Kashaya or Chirivillodi Kashaya or Saptasaran Kashaya, whatever the Kashaya which gives Anulomana of Apanavada, that will give Upasaya into these myoclonic jerks. This is the crux which I want to convey in front of you. Now, let us see the Punarnavadi Kvada. Punarnava Nimpa Patola Sundi, Tiktamrada Darvya Payakashaya, Sarvanga Shobha. All we know that. Whenever we see a case of edema, immediately with Jara Paracetamol Nyayam, we will select our Punarnavadi Kvada, no doubt. Whenever somebody is having any mutra complaints, we will immediately select Punarnavadi Kashayam, even though it is not mentioned in this Valasruti, because all we know Punarnava is diuretic. Diuretic is needed for dysuria. Okay, we can prescribe it. We are not at all minding Nimbam, Patolam, Shundi, Tikta, Amrita. No, we are only looking about Punarnavadi. Yeah, Punarnava is there. Yes, we are selecting it. This is Jwara paracetamol Nyayam. Fortunately, 60 to 70% of the dysuria will come down with the Punarnavadi Kvada. But I am damn sure, if the dysuria is associated with Pitta dosha, like plenty of RBC, along with that, if it is associated with strangury is the highly painful micturition due to Kevalavada. Punarnavadi increases Vata dosha by its ruksha nature after intake of several times. If it is associated with such Vadika symptom, it will definitely increase after 1 week. All the dysuria will increase after 1 week. What are the common Vata symptoms? The main Vadika symptom is strangury and severe back pain. And if there is, but at the same time, if it is associated with Shobha, if it is associated with Udarda, if it is associated with skin disease, if it is associated with Kleda, if it is associated with diabetes, certainly it will give good results, because Punarnavadi is Kapha Pittahara. Punarnavadi is Kapha Pittahara. It is Ruksha, it is Shita, and main preference or main seat is present in Resa Rekta Dhadu. Resa Rekta Dhadu, Abhyandara and Bahya Roga Marga. These are the prime site of Punarnavadi. So, of course, it is good for Mutrakritram and Shobham, but at the same time, if it is associated with, you see, Kapha Indrekta. What is the disease which I mentioned earlier? Pandamayam Shonidage. It is good for anemia. It is good for anemia. And Pitta in Rekta. Rekta Visarpam Daham. If it is very severe burning sensation, for example, diabetic neuropathy, good. Punarnavadi is good. Pittam Tojistitam Kuryat Vispotaka Masuriga, all eruptive lesions, all Vispoda lesions, all vesicular lesions, all pemphigoid lesions, good result with Punarnavadi. Erythema marginatum, which is present associated to this rheumatic fever. That is what I shown here. This is erythema marginatum. Good for Punarnavadi because it is indicated Kapha, Pitta, Resa, Rekta and Shobha. All these are present in rheumatic fever, erythema marginatum. Anemia. Anemia are 2 types. Pandu is of 2 types in classics. Pitta Pradhana Pandu, Kapha Pradhana Pandu. One Pandu which is turned to Kamala after 7 days of intake of lime juice. Yaha Pandu Rogi Seveda, Pittalam, Tasya Kamalam. If one Pandurogi is taking Pittala, Ahara Vihara, lime juice or Madhya or anything like that, they will turn to jaundice. That is the Pitta Pradhana Pandu. That is not the Kapha in Rekta. That is Pitta in Resa. But in iron deficiency anemia, if you are taking Amla Rasa Aharas, if you are taking lime juice, that is good. It will improve anemia. More hemoglobin will be present. That means one Pandu is in need of Ushna treatments, another Pandu is in need of Shita treatments. Hemolytic anemia is in need of Shita treatments. Iron deficiency anemia is in need of Ushna treatment. Hemolytic anemia is in need of Tiktakam Kwadam, and iron deficiency anemia is in need of Punarnavadi Kwadam, Mandura Vadagam, Dadimadi Kritam. All these are Ushna, Tishna drugs. Mandura Vadagam is Ushna. Navayasa Gudika is Ushna. That is good for iron deficiency anemia. But in hemolytic anemia, if you are writing the Madhura Vadaga, all the hemolysis will increase. No doubt, it is Ushna in nature. Jaundice. In two sides, jaundice will be produced. If the Pitta is present in Rasadhatu, liver-related jaundice. If Pitta is related to Rasadhatu, liver-related jaundice, Rasa and Raktadhatu. If the Pitta is in Majja, Majji Haridra Naga Netradam, bone marrow-related jaundice. Bone marrow-related jaundice are seen in a lot of neoplasms, a lot of myelomas, a lot of myeloblastic type of diseases, myeloproliferative diseases. So jaundice can be happened from two dhadus, mainly two dhadus, Rasa dhadu and Majja dhadu. Pitta is the chief dosha, no doubts. Punarnavadi is best option, but Punarnavadi, the seat is Rasa Rakta only. It will not go to Majja dhadu. How? Because you just see the Valasruti which is given for the Punarnavadi. What are they? Sarvanga Shobham, Jwaram, Kasam, Sula, Swasam, Pandu. All these are the diseases coming out of Rasa Rakta Dhadu. So the Punarnavadi, the main seat is Rasa Rakta Dhadu. It cannot go to Majja Dhadu because Majja Dhadu affinity is another one, and if you want to treat the Majja Dhadu, you should select some other drugs like Karaskaram, Balladagam. All these are good for such jaundice. Karaskaram, very beautiful drug. Guluji has some sort of affinity towards the Majja Dhadu even because it is a Rasayana drug. Even though its main wife is Rasa and Rakta, but in secondary, it is having a seat to all other dhadus. Clear? Now let's see Amrudotran Kashayam. Nagaradi Kashayam. Nagaramrita Haridagi, Kramat, Naga Hastanayana, Angribagasaha. See, all we know, Amrudotram is good for fever. Jara paracetamol nyayam. Amrudotram is good for fever. Jara paracetamol nyayam. And we know Amrudotram is good for rheumatism also. Jara paracetamol nyayam. For rheumatic fever, Jara paracetamol nyayam. But you know, there are several rheumatic complaints which are aggravated by Amrudotram Kwadam. I will give you one example for the practitioners. You will come to know very better. If some lady around 30 years of age is coming in front of you with all joint pains, history of appendicitis, Pitta in Pakwasaya, and ongoing leukorrhea, Pitta in Pakwasaya, Pitta and Kapha in Pakwasaya, painful intercourse, dyspareunia, painful, pain on touch, sparsha sahishnutvam, it is Pitta Lakshana. If she is having menorrhagia, Pitta in Pakwasaya, and she is having joint pain, she is having Rekta Tivra Ruja, Swapatapa Raga Vivarnada, high migraine, and she is having oral stomatitis. I am damn sure if you are writing Amrudotram Kashayam, her complaints will be increased because Amrudotram is Ushna. Amrudotram is basically Ushna. What I want to say, don't take Amrudotram in rheumatism as Jara paracetamol nyayam. Instead, it is Kapha Pitta Hara. At the same time, it manages Vada. That is the beauty of that Amrudotram Kwada. Of course, it is good for Amavada and infective fevers. Fever out of all immune problems, immune system disorders in nature, like autoimmune, soft tissue rheumatism, all other things, provided it should not have a Pitta Tara Vriddhi. Pitta Tara Tama Vriddhi, if it is present with all these diseases, it is contraindicated for Amrudotram. But if it is more Kaphavada in nature, of course, there will be minimum Pitta will be there. such a condition of rheumatic fever, such a condition of rheumatoid arthritis. I am not telling all rheumatoid arthritis. Kaphavada dominant rheumatoid arthritis. Kaphavada dominant rheumatic fever. Migraine of kaphavadika nature. Shwasakasai, because its seat is Rasadhatu. Its seat is Rasadhatu because it is indicated in Jwara. Kapha, Vada, Rasa, Amashya. That is Amrudottaram. Kapha, Vada, Amashya. That is Amrudottaram. So, better option is Kapha, Vada, Amashya, Rasadhatu. And if association of Pitta is there, it should be very minimal in Amrudottaram. But if the Pitta is aggravated condition, is in an aggravated condition, Kapha and Vada are associated. Very difficult to treat such a condition because which virya you will select, that is very difficult to define. Because Kapha Vada is in need of Ushna virya, Pitta is in need of Shita virya. It's a clinical dilemma. It is present, as I mentioned to you, in that lady, 30 year of aged lady. She is presenting all the Kapha and Pitta symptoms and Vada presenting complaints. Samsrishte Kapha Pittabhyam Pitta Madhav Vinirjayet. Samsrishte Kapha Pittabhyam Pitta Madhav Vinirjayet. If it is a Kapha Paitika Vyadi, even though it is presented as Vada Vyadi, it should be considered as a Pitta Vyadi first. In such cases, you should select Shita Virya drug, but it should not aggravate Vada and Kapha. So Vada has to be managed, Kapha has to be managed, Pitta has to be managed. In such cases, there are some Abhavada Dravyas. Abhavada Dravyas means all we know, Deepana Bhajana will be contributed by Kattu, Amala, Lavana, Rasas. Not to Swadu Rasa, not to Kashaya Rasa, it should not be by Tikta Rasa. Theoretically speaking, it should not be by Tikta Rasa because Vayuagashayoho Tiktaha. Where is Agni? Vayuagashayoho Tiktaha. Where is Agni? But Tikta do Deepana Bhajana. That is called as Tikta Bhajana. Why? Acharya don't know. That is why I told it is an Abhavada drug. Tikta Rasa drugs are doing Deepana Bhajana. Nobody knows how it is happening. That is the loophole or the lacuna of Ayurveda Siddhantas. One such a beautiful combination is Bhajanamridam Kashayam. One such a beautiful combination is Bhajanamridam Kashayam. Amurdoshi Ravashabda Vishwabhunimba Valaga, Saparpataka Danyaga Dhanvayasha. Except Shundi, all others are Tikta Rasa Pradhana Dravyas, which is having powerful Deepana Bhajana capacity. A lot of such drugs are there, not a lot of, many such drugs are there, like Shadangam, Bhajanamridam, Nishundi Shadangam. Everything is doing Tikta Bhajana, and that is what is needed in Kapha Pitta Vyadi, where Pitta is aggravated. See, the beauty of Bhajanamrita is, it is neither Ushna nor Shida, but more predominantly it is Shida by its ingredients. It is Kapha Pitta Hara. It is Sama Pitta Hara. What is the complication of Sama Pitta? Ama is in need of Ushna. Pitta is in need of Shida. The very same complication, Sama Pitta. You might have seen cases, the practitioners especially, severe joint pain. All the areas are reddened, as in the case of systemic lupus erythematosus, Kawasaki diseases. But at the same time, there are severe amatva in that. What you will prescribe? Definitely Amardotram will increase the condition. Definitely Ashtajurnam will increase the condition. Definitely Hinkujadi will increase the condition. Definitely even the Shadharana will increase the condition due to the presence of its Gomutra. Otherwise Shadharana is good. Due to the presence of Gomutra, Shadrana will increase the condition. So Ama is there, Vadarakta is there. In such cases, the best drug is Tikta Pajana, Pajana Amrita, and Nisundi Shadanga. All these are the best option, what I want to say. So its seat is Resa Recta. Its seat is Resa Recta. Kapha Pitta Resa Recta. And wherever Kapha Pitta Resa Recta is present, many diseases are there. For example, disseminated intravascular coagulopathy. I am treating COVID cases right now in NRIs. Almost 64 cases. I wrote down all the case series yet to be published now. In that, the complication is happening due to some vasculitis which is presented by the viral toxins, and it causes disseminated intravascular coagulopathy. A lot of small vessels are having small thrombosis, and which is causing sudden death. The best drug is Nishundi Shadangam. The best drug is this Pajanamridam in such cases. Reiter syndrome, dandruff, stomatitis, iridocyclitis, Nethragada, sacroiliitis, urethritis, plantar fasciitis. The combination of Reiter syndrome, Samapittam, good. SLE, juvenile idiopathic arthritis, Pitta Kasam with Ama. A lot of patients are suffering from a lot of amacha kasam. Fever is there, fever is there, mandajwaram is there. At the same time, vomiting is there. In that vomitus, there is blood. In such cases, you have to treat ama. You have to treat at the same time this rekta dosha, pitta dosha also. Now, let's see Padola Muladi Kwada. Same kabam pittam. But the issue is that it is having another chair in Mamsadadu because it is indicated in Kushta. The dushyas of Kushta are doshaha prabhadyat tok, tiryak tok, lesiga asragamisham. Tok lesiga resadadu. Asrak Mamsadadu, then these are the prime dushyas in the Kushta. Tok lesiga asragamisham. So whenever the kapha and the pitta is situated in the all these dadus, resurrecta I have already mentioned. If it is on the mamsa dadu, gangrenous, severe ulceration. But the beauty of Padola Muladi is that it creates a lot of shodhana also. It cleans the machine. It not only it reduces the kapha pitta, but it cleans the machine also. So Padola Muladi is kapha pitta, resa, recta and mamsa. At the same time, it cleans the machine. So I am giving in many types of kapha, recta, in recta. See if the pitta is situated in the recta dadu. Visarpam, pitagam, recta, visarpam, daham, mamse, mamspaka, kodanam. And after that, in almost all the skin diseases like psoriasis, and in case of pemphigus vulgaris, in case of epidermolysis bullosa, in all such cases, after its chronicity, it will produce a lot of other vascular complications like chronic migraine due to Daduchayam. In that Daduchayam, Vata is aggravated in the recta dadu. Tekta tivra ruja, swapa taba raga vivarnada, photopsia, prominent veins, blacking out, severe pain, uncontrollable with migraine, uncontrollable with vasograin, uncontrollable with anti-migrainous drug. They will put their head like Bandhanam will give Ubashayam because that is good for, Bandhana is good for Vadasyobakramaha. Pitrasana, Vidmapana, Bandhana, Veshtana, all these are good for Vada. That is an indicative of Dadukshaya in that migraine. In such cases, you should do Shodhana, at the same time Kapha Pitta Hara. Then you should go for Vada. In that Kapha Pitta Hara, Padola Muladi is the best choice. Immediate reduction of the migraine will happen. Later on, you have to manage the Vata dosha by means of Vidaryadi like Kashayas. Otherwise, This is an apavada of Ayurveda theory. This is an apavada of Ayurveda theory. You know, you don't think that Aptavadanas are 100% foolproof. It is everlasting, ever memorizing, ever good. No, it is not like that. Even Acharya never told like that. Shashwatam, Ayurvedam Shashwatam, in not the sense, but the sentence. Shabdhartam. What I want to say, even the Susruta proposed in another dosha. Nobody committed suicide at that time. He proposed in another dosha. I am considering Klayada as another dhatu. Nobody will beat me. Nobody will scold me. So there are a lot of loopholes for the dosha siddhantas. The classical example is Rekta Moksha. You know, only 3 doshas are there. Vada, Pittam and Kapam. For Vada, Vasti is there. For Pitta, Virajana is there. For Kapha, Vamana is there. Then what is the need of Rekta Moksha? All the 3 doshas are managed by Vamana, Virajana and Vasti. Sarirajana, Doshanam, Kramena, Paravamshatam, Vastir Virego, Vamanam, Tata Daila Kridam Madhu. Then what is the use of Rekta Moksha? Rekta Moksha is an apavada of Tridosha Siddhanta. And what the people are telling, you know, Sidoshna Snigdaru Chadye, Ubakramandasha Yogataha. I have applied Tridosha Siddhanta, Rucha Siddhanta, Sida Siddhanta, Ushna Siddhanta, Snigda Siddhanta. Everything went wrong. Everything went wrong. But I am damn sure this is a disease of resurrected dhatu. I can clear it out. But I don't have any other options because all the Tridosha Siddhantas are failed in such condition. Acharya told another loophole in the 8th century. Sidoshna Siddharutha Rupakramanta Sayegata Samyak Sadhyana Siddhanti Teshu Rekta Pragopaja Seshu Samyak Pisravayadum Rektam. You go for you just ignore Tridosha Siddhanta. Cut in one area, drain out the blood, it will come down. It is against Tridosha Siddhanta. I am doing such treatment principles in a lot of cases where epilepsies. This is a Jalaugavacharanam in an intractable epilepsy because I tried Ushna drugs, I tried Sida drugs, I tried Snigdha drugs, I tried Rucha drugs, but nothing happened in that. And finally, I put the Jalauga, it came down. That is the beauty of lacuna of Tridosha Siddhanta. That is the beauty of lacuna of Tridosha Siddhanta. In that, what I want to say, in that, Padola Muladi is good. In that, Padola Muladi is good. Wherever you need Rekta Moksha, Rekta Vrtijan, Rekta Nirharana, Prasadana, Kaya Virejanena. That is the basic principle of Rekta Pradosha Vigaras. What are they? Rekta Vrtijan, Rekta Nirharana, Prasadana, Kaya Virejanena. If you want to bypass Rekta Nirharana, Prasadana and Kaya Virejanam is best perceived by Padola Muladi. Prasadana and Kaya Virejanam is best perceived by Padola Muladi. Now let us see Padola Kadrohinyadi. If you want only Rekta Prasadana, not Kaya Virejanam, not Rekta Moksham, if you want only Rekta Prasadanam, select Padola Kadrohinyadi. See, now let's see what are the seat of this Padola Kadrohini. Nihandi, Kapapitta, Kushta. So it is going up to Mamsadadu. Jwaran, Rasadadu. Visham, all Dadu. Vami, Rasadadu. Arojagam, Rasadadu. Kamala, Rasa, Rekta, Majadadu. But here it will go to Majadadu, so Rasa Rekta. Okay. Kaba Pitta, Resurrecta Mamsa is the seat of Padola Kadrohinyadi. So you can treat, if you have that table, which I have mentioned from Ashtanga Sankara Sutrasthana, you can treat plenty of diseases coming out of Kaba and Pitta in Rasa and Rekta and Mamsa. It is good for fibroid. It is good for anemia. It is good for a lot of other types of fibromyalgia. It is good for prana. It is good for ulcer. It is good for diabetic gangrene. It is good for TAO. It is good for diabetic neuropathy. Okay. Now, peptic ulcer, Amashium, chronic liver diseases, Potassium, Gilbert syndrome, Potassium, appetite management in anti-epileptic drugs. All anti-epileptic drugs are creating Kapha Pitta Dushti in Amasya. All anti-epileptic drugs are, that is why they are going for liver function test every month. Kapha and the Pitta in Amashaya. Now let us go to the Vilvadi Gulika. Villasya Moolam Surasasya Pushpam, Phalam Karanjasya Nadam Suraham. You see, Bhujanga Luda Unduru Vrishchigadi, a lot of Visha. Visha can go to any Dadu. Visham, he is there, Deham Sambrapya, Pradushayati Shonidam. At first, it will vitiate Rekta Dadu, and after that, it can go to any Dadu, especially the Dushi Vishas, especially the Garav Vishal. Stitam Resadi Shwadava Vijitran, Karodi Dhadu Prabhavan Vigaran. What does it mean? Resadishu, in any Dhadu, it can reach and it can cause any disease. So, Villuadi Gulika can be applied in any disease. And Villuadi Gulika will reduce the Bhujanga Ludonduru Vrishchigadi Visham. Visham is in need of Sita treatment, you know. Visham is in need of Sita treatment. Now you see Ajirna, Jwara. Ajirna is in need of Ushna treatment, you know. Ajirna is in need of Ushna treatment. Visha is in need of Sita treatments. So whenever you are coming across with a lot of diseases like muscular dystrophy, motor neuron disease, autism spectrum disorders, a lot of other conditions where you are in need of Vishahara treatments, you are in need of Ushna treatments, you are in need of Sita treatments, you are in need of every Dhatu management. The best drug is Vilvadi Gulika. The best drug is Vilvadi Gulika. And all the others, Kapha, Pitta, Ama, Visha. Kapha, Pitta, Ama, Visha. So I use it in muscular dystrophy to reduce the CPK. I use it in autism with severe intoxicated conditions whenever the chelation is indicated. I use it in motor neuron disease. I use it in every degenerative diseases like Lyme disease, Kraft disease, lipophilic disease, and Tay-Sachs disease, muscular dystrophy. Every degenerative diseases I am using this type of Vilvadi Gulika because it reaches every Dhatu. Now let's see Rajanyadi Churnam, which is the Mandriga Aushada of Kaumara Vritya. Why it is Mandriga Aushada? In every Kaumara Vritya prescription, there will be Rajanyadi Churna. This are the where or Panivilla, Yalko, where Maruduma really, Yal Elathil, Rajanyadi Churna apply to drink. Every disease I am writing the Rajanyadi Churna. Everybody is actually, every Kaumara Vritya practitioners are astonished with the tremendous action of this Rajanyadi Churna. Why? Because it is only mentioned that Marudasya Anulomanam. No doubt it is acting on the costa only. Marudasya Anulomanam. What is the Marudasya Anulomanam beauty? You know, whatever may be the Kapha-Paitika disease, wherever may be its site, it came, the Kapha and the Pitta came from the costa only. But unfortunately, Kapha, Pitta don't have the limbs to move. Unfortunately, Kapha and the Pitta don't have the limbs to move towards the Saga and the Madhyama Roga Marga. Vyayamad, Ushmanad, Taishnad, Ahida, Jaranadabi, Kostad, Saga, Astimarmani, Doshayandi, Drudatwad Marudasya. Drudatwad Marudasya. The powerful Vega Pravarti of the Vayu, which is the propulsive action of Vayu, which propagates the Kapha and the Pitta out of this costa into Madhyama Roga Marga and other Shaga Roga Margas. So if you want to treat any disease out of Kapha and the Pitta, you have to do Marudasya Anulomanam. So the best drug without touching any other doshas. That is the beauty of Rajanyadi Churnam. Rajanyadi Churnam is Trudosha Shamanam. Whereas the Ashtachurnam is Pitta Vardagam. Hingavajadi is Pitta Vardagam. Panchagolam is Pitta Vardagam. Any Deepanapajana drug which is having a Tridosha Samana property, I don't have a big list except Rajanyadi Churnam. That is the beauty of Rajanyadi Churnam. That is why all of pediatric practitioners are putting Rajanyadi Churnam as wonder drug. If they are doing Vyadi Viparita Chikilsa, no, Hedu Viparita Chikilsa. If you wish to have Hedu Viparita Chikilsa, you cannot forget Rajanyadi Churna while treating any disease. So Rasadadu, because it is in Costa, Vadanulomana, okay. Koshta means Samasya and Pakvasya. So I am using tremendously, I am using, especially conspicuously, I am using in asthma, indigestion, adhisara, autism, ADHD, epilepsies, all allergic diseases. Allergy, the beauty of Kapha and Pitta, immediately it goes to Shaga. That is the beauty of allergy, Udardam, and all other conditions. Now, let's see. Ashtachurnam. Ushna, Tishna, Pittavardhaga, Kaphavadhara, Koshta, Swaresadadu. Any difficulty? Ushna, Tishna, Kaphavadhara, Koshta, Swaresadadu. Because Jataragni, Vada Gulmam Nihandi. It is confined to only Rasadadu. But due to the Pittavardhaka property, it can reach negatively to the Raktadadu. So if you want to write if you want to treat an indigestion, that case is with a skin disorder or indigestion in psoriasis case. Will you write Ashtachurnam? Will you write Ashtachurnam? No, that's not a good option because it causes Pittavardhaka, Kapha, Vada, Rasadhadu, and it manages very well the Agni, but it is contraindicated in skin diseases, bleeding disorders, and all other Rekta Pradosha Vigara, Kushta, Visarpa, Pitaga, Asrada, Akshimukam, Etra, Gudada, Gulma, Vidradi, Pliha, Venga, Kamil, Akninasa, Tamapravesa, Rectanga Netra, the Vada Rekta Pitta, the Viranesha, Pitta Vigaram, all these are contraindicated for Astajurnam and Hingojati Churnam. Okay. So I usually use Ashtachurnam in many Kaphavada Gulma like mesenteric lymphadenopathy, dysmenorrhea, chronic constipation. If constipation is not Kevalavadika. Okay, then now let's go to the Gugulu Diktagam. See, I am just mentioning this area. Sandhi, Asti, Majjagadamapyada Kushtamidrik, Nadi Vranar Buddha Bagandara Gendamala, Gelagenda Gendamala Arbuda Gendi, Talujihu Aswigalosta Bahu, Udaroru Gavrava Jenkavurdibi, Medas, Mansam, Asti, Majja. These are the seeds of Gugulu Diktagam. Medas, Asti, Majja, Shukram, all these are the prime seeds of Gugulu Diktagam. Okay, now Vata and Pitta, Rasa, Rekta, Mamsa, Meda, Asti, Majja, Santi. See, these are the chief, that is the reason why, because Gugulu Diktagam is taken as an immediate remedy in chronic debilitating illness like neoplasm and all other, what we can say, the Pratyakhyaya Vyadis, which were coming out of the medical college or whatever may be the condition, and in osteoarthritis and in all other Majjagata Vigaras are treated by this Gugulu. I am treating even in the pediatric practice, gliosis. It's a scar tissue of the brain. Vranavastu in the Majjadadu, refractory epilepsy. Those epilepsies which are not controlled even by anti-epileptic drugs. You just have a 10 ml of Gugulu Takridam as Matravasti daily. Daily Matravasti. 10 ml or 5 ml of Gugulu Takridam. It will be subsided up to some extent. Refractory epilepsy. In bone metastasis. In bone metastasis, Gugulutam, you make avarti, 100 avarti, 50 avarti of Guguluta Gridam. That will be so Tikshna, Ushma, Sushma, Vyavai, Vigashi property will be there. And it manages powerfully the Rektodadu, Majjadadu, Astidadu, the pain coming out of bone metastasis, well tackled by this Avarti, the Guguluta Grida. Osteomyelitis, Majja, Pitta, osteomyelitis. Majja in Pitta, Pitta in Majja, and Astidadu. Alopecia totalis, Astidadu. Now let us go to the, because due to the stringency of my time, I took 15 minutes much more because I have to give some time for the discussion also. I am running fast. Shundi Baladvayam Kwadam. This is a unique Kwada which is mentioned in Sahasra Yoga. Why I mentioned this Kwada? Why? Because of Bela, I put another combination drug Mahishadravagam in the heading here. Both are having peculiar affinity. They are having special seat in Asti Majja Dhatu. In Asti Majja Dhatu. Sundi Bela Dvayam Kwadam Suktivada Nibarhanam. But Bela is a lazy drug. Always sleepy drug. It won't go much. It is not a running drug. It is an always lazy drug. So whenever you want to put Bela in Asti and Majja Dhatu, you have to marry Bela with another vehicle which is having powerful running action. So Pippali Bela, Sundi Bela, or Trikatu Bela, all these are the best combination to make reach this Bela up to Majja and Asti Dhatu. And this is a beautiful Kwada which is available in Kerala market, Shuddhi Beladi Kwadam, to treat any Asti Majja Gata Dhadus. Otherwise, the Kshira Bela is a classical example behind it. And it is Guru, Brahmanam, Vadaharam, not a Sukshma. But if you are selecting this Mahishadravaka, which is Mahishadravaka is a combination of Maharasnadi Kwada plus Mahisha bone, Sira, Snayu, Majja. The waste coming out of the beef industry, you know, all the skeletons, crush it, piece it, put Maharasati Kwada drug in it, distill it, not Kwada, distill it. So it will become Leghu. That Arkam will be Leghu. If you want Leghu Sandarpanam, Mahishadravagam. If you want Guru Sandarpanam, Bela Chirabagam, Bela Sundi Chirabagam, or Sundi Bela Dvayam Kwadam, whatever it may be. If somebody is having good Agni, Sundi Bela Dvayam Kwadam. If somebody is having not Agni, Mahishadravagam. Okay. Now let us go to, so widely I am using all these are in rickets, osteoarthritis, osteoporosis. This Ammammarokke vayassayi kazhinjal kayyum kaalum kazhittu vayya ennu parayumbo kudikkuna sadhananu ee Pothindravagam. Pothindravagam parasham kudikkunnundalle. It's a common usual practice among the elderly persons in Kerala that during the rainy season, whenever the elder people are having the leg pain, they, even without a prescription, they are going to the Ayurveda medical shop, they are purchasing Mahishadravaka and Belarita to alleviate their leg pain. Astistaha, Sakti Sandhya, Astishulam Tivram Belatrayam. Astistaha, Sakti Sandhya, Astishulam Tivram Belatrayam. Vada in Asti. Okay, let me conclude. My take-home message is that Ayurveda is a non-linear system. Ayurveda is a complex system according to modern view, but it is highly dynamic. Non-linear means all the equations are wrong. 1 plus 1 equal to 2. 1 plus 1 equal to 2. Okay, H2 plus O is equal to H2O, that is water. But H2 plus O is, whenever giving ethyl alcohol, what you will say? Yeshu Kristu. Turning water into ethyl alcohol, isn't it? That is the non-linear equation. Ayurveda is, according to modern purview, it is non-linear. So 1 plus 3 may be 100, or 1 plus 3 may be 25, or 1 plus 3 may be 50. You cannot predict the movement of a compound pendulum which is given in this figure. But if it is a simple pendulum, you can predict the T is equal to 2 pi into root of L by G. No doubt. Everybody can predict. You can experiment it. But if it is a compound pendulum, it will go like this. You cannot predict its movements because human body is non-linear. Universe is non-linear. Each and every drug is non-linear. Each and every organism is non-linear. That is why the famous fellow W.J. Firth, he told everything in the world is in an order. In that order, there is a disorder. For that disorder, there is an order. Everything in the world is in an order. In that order, there is a disorder. For that disorder, there is an order. And this is not told by me, but by an allopathic physician. He published it in the British Medical Journal, not in the Ayurveda Chandrika, not in the Ayurveda magazine. The Mecca of medical publication, British Medical Journal, told that everything in the world is in chaos. Chaos means non-linear. Chaos means non-linear. That means the wings coming out of the Beijing of a butterfly. If one butterfly is flying its wings in the Beijing, that wind can cause a tornado in the Texas. That is the theory of chaos. That wind can cause a tornado in the Texas. That is proven. That is the predicting the unpredictable chaos. Heart is having a chaos. Human body is having chaos. Thyroid is having chaos. And don't predict the functions of human body. This is told by the physiologist of modern medicine, not by the Ayurveda physician. So publish your Ayurveda findings. All the Ayurveda findings are non-linear. All those are wonderful findings. So far, modern microscope is concerned. Publish your Ayurveda findings, not in Ayurveda journals, because Ayurveda people are not having any reading habits. You won't get anything out of it. Publish your findings in modern journals, but in such a way that don't put your Vata, Pitta and Kapha. Make explanation in terms of their chemistry, their physiology, and if you want to read such journals, there are a lot of Ayurveda journals or Ayurveda articles which are published in modern journals. One such is given in this article. She is Jennifer Reyes, one of my friends. She is beautiful Ayurvedist, not a BAMS holder, unfortunately or fortunately, because she knows how to explain Ayurveda in terms of modern medicine. What I want to say, publish your findings. Even though you treated an Adisara with Kutajarishtam, it is a great finding. You don't think that it is a simple one. Put it in a modern journal, not in Ayurveda journal. Because Ayurveda people very well know that Kutajarishtam is good for Adisara. Thank you. Thank you very much for patient hearing. Now let us discuss all these findings. If at all you have any sort of queries, put either in this chat box, otherwise just log in www.ethicalAyurveda.com and put that message. Otherwise, I put my phone number only for WhatsApp, don't for call, please. And you can have a voice message or text message in that WhatsApp. You will get a reply at least within 24 hours of time. Thank you one and all. And I extend my sincere love to Dr. Vinith George and team from our MVR Academy for arranging such a nice occasion, this wonderful opportunity. Thank you one and all.
Thank you very much, sir. It was indeed a presentation that each and every participant should have thought it shouldn't end. It was so scholastic and it was so energetic, and even it was very, very much informative. You have always stressed the importance of thorough knowledge of the yogas, cautioning us about the abhavadas of Ayurveda theory also. And of course, the take-home message to publish was also very, very informative. I humbly request the participants, if they have any questions, they can unmute and they can ask the questions now itself. The session is they can unmute and they can ask if they have any questions.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, come on, please, madam, please come on.
Hello, I'm Dr. Swati. I'm from Delhi, and I have a small question for sir.
Yes.
Sir, in the cases of SLE, it is said it is an autoimmune disorder, and so the patient is usually put on the steroids as an autoimmune as an immunity depressor medicines. Whereas in Ayurveda, we prescribe them this thing Guluchi Adi Kashayam is a drug of choice. So, and it is a very good immune booster also. So, how do we understand this? On one side, one pathy is giving immunodepressor for the line of treatment. On the other side, in Ayurveda, we give the immunity booster medications to improve the immunity of the patient, or perhaps to balance all the doshas. So how do we understand this, and please help me out to understand.
Actually, whatever you told, the first part of your question is 100% true, but the second part of the question is away from the Ayurveda principle. Number one, Guduchadi is the drug of choice because of its immunomodulatory effects. That is the wrong statement according to Ayurveda, because Guduchadi need not be a drug of choice. Only SLE, if it is presented with Niramavastha, Pitta and Kapha in Rasa and Raktadadu, then only Guluchadi will be a drug of choice. Otherwise, if it is severe Amavastha is there, Guluchadi is not at all a drug of choice. Number two, don't take immunomodulatory effect of Guluji. Don't invest that immunomodulatory effect of Guluji into the Guluchadi Quada. Guluji and Guluchadi Quada is entirely different. So that is the reason why, because I put this presentation as Guluchadi is best if only SLE is presented with Niramavastha, Pitta and Kapha in Rasa and Raktadhatu. Such presentation will be there in SLE after a period of time of our treatment. In that case, only Guluchadi is best. Otherwise, Guluchadi is not a drug of choice. SLE is best manageable in Ayurveda. Of course, in complications like vasculitis, we need steroids. We need the help of allopathic doctors. But with steroid application, it won't be resolved. In such cases, Ayurveda is the treatment of choice.
Thank you, doctor. Thanks a lot for wonderful explanation. Thank you.
Sir, we have a question from Dr. Sean Kumar, who is asking, how can we approach neoplasms like non-Hodgkin's lymphoma through Ayurveda?
See, NHL is a special condition where actually the presentation will be Dhadugata Jwara, not as any other presenting symptoms like all other sarcoma, carcinoma like condition. In all other neoplastic areas, there will be either Rekta Pradorsha Vigara or Metha Pradorsha Vigara. But in NHL, it is special. Mostly the presenting complaint will be Dhadugata Jwara in case. But at the same time, Samprapti is going to some nodular swellings in the lymphatic system. That is Mamsa Medo Gada, Kapha in Mamsa and Methas. So Kapha in Mamsa Methas, at the same time, the presenting complaint will be Pitta and Kapha in Rasadhadu. So initially we are treating, see, in NHL cases, initially we are sending almost all the cases for the chemotherapy, no doubt, because it can save the life. But only with the chemotherapy, nothing will come out many a times. Only in that case, we are treating NHL cases. Okay. In that cases, our treatment principle will be Jwara Chikitsa. Dhatu, Meda, Rasa, Dadu, Gada, Jwara Chikitsa. Usual drugs, what we are doing, all these Amrutotram like Quadams, and finally we will end into Guguluthan type of Quadams. Guguluthan type of Quadam. And we do a lot of Rasayana Chikitsa with Ballataka and Guluji. Ballataka and Guluji are the good drug of choice in such cases.
Sir, Dr. Arati has asked a question. What are the alternatives for Ashtachurnam and Hingvachadi in hypertension? What can be the alternative?
In hypertension?
Yes, sir.
See, the hypertension, how come it is related to this hypertension? I don't know. In what is the Samprapti connection, what she made. See, usually hypertension is presenting with insomnia, headache, all these are the presenting complaints. All these are actually, all these are Pitta Vigaras and Rekta Pradorsha Vigaras. All these areas are contraindicated to Ashtachurnam and Hingvachadi, that you told is true. Okay, in such cases, you try to take the Kapha Vada in Rasa and Raktadhatu. Kapha Vada in Rasa and Raktadhatu. See, Vada in Raktadhatu. What is the presenting complaint? Rekta Tivra Richa Swapa Tapa Raga Vivarna, I told you. All the Kushta Chikilsa, all the rheumatic Chikilsa are good for this hypertension. Punarnavadi, Rasnerandadi. All these are the drug of choices. Uduchadi is best. So according to the presenting, you take out the presenting complaint of hypertension and put it to this spectrum. Accordingly, you select the drug. Okay. Of course, that your suggestion like Ashtachurna and Hingvachadi is not a good drug of choice in such cases. You can go for the other Rajanyadi like drugs or any other Gandharvastadi like drugs. All these are good for Deepana Bajra making into Costa perfect. Okay.
So one more question. Basically, when the cardiac patients are given put on the blood thinners like aspirin, what can be the alternative in
Yeah. I understood your question that instead of blood thinners, isn't it? Don't think like that. Don't think like that. Blood thinners actually are in need of, strictly speaking, Kadu Rasa Pradhana Dravyas, Pitta Vardhaka Dravyas, but that is not good for cardiac patients if they are presented with Rikta Pradosha Vikaras. See, cardiac patients, what were the presenting complaints? Number one, transient ischemic attacks, Nisapnyam, transient ischemic attacks. Otherwise, the cardiac angina presentation. All these are Vata and Pitta severely making it Samprakti in Rasa and Rakta Dhatu. Rasa and Rakta Dhatu. In such cases, you are not supposed to apply Pitta Vardhaka type of Hingo Jadi and Ashtachurna by looking into Kadu Rasa. Of course, Kadu Rasa, Kaduko Prisa Mudveji, Jihuagram, Chimichima, Kantakapolam, then it comes that what do you say? Chinatti Bandhan, Vivronodis Rodamsi, Chinatti Bandhan, Vivronodis Rodamsi, all these are given in Kadu Rasa. But it is not good for selecting this Kadu Rasa Dravya if the cardiac patients are presented with Pitta Vigara. But after some time, they come into the dormant stage of Kapha dominant stage. In that condition, you can have a lot of these Kadu Rasa Pradhana Dravyas like Lesuna. Lesuna is the beauty of Lesuna, Rasonadi Kwada. Is the beauty of Rasonadi Kwada is that it gives Pitta Rekta Vidur Mukta Samastavarana Avrde. All Avrda doshas will be managed. By this Lesuna, it manages all doshas except Pitta dosha. So it is Rasonadi what we are using, good choice. And Ashtachurnam we are using good choice. But if putting Ashtachurna into the patient in the Pitta Vigaras, they will suffer from a lot of acidity like Pitta Vardhaka Vigaras. It means that not Ashtachurna is the culprit, but the doctor who prescribed Ashtachurna is the culprit. Better you go for such other non-Pitta Vardhaka type of drugs like Ashtavargam and Rasonadi. All these are the good options. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir, is the one question from Dr. Varij Rajiv regarding the contraindications of Gugulatikta? Is there any specific contraindications for Gugulatikta Kashaya?
Yes. Even though Vatarakta is an indication of this Gugulatiktakam, many a times it's Ushna Dravyas which are present inside, like Balladaga, causes a lot of Ashugari Pitta Vigaras. Ashugari Pitta Vigaras. So that is due to a lot of variables like ineffective Shodhanam of Balladagam and the dose of Balladagam which are present in that Gugulatiktakam. So you have to mind always there is a chance of immediate Pitta Vardhaka Swabhava for this Gugulatiktaga. So try to reduce Gugulatikta preparations in Shonida Vigaras. That is the fame of Gugulatiktaga, which is mostly used in Asti Majja Sandhigata Vigara instead of Shonida Vigaras. Because Shonida Vigaras are also indicated, but you should be very careful. It should not be in the Grishma Kala. It should not be along with the Pitta Vardhaka Ahara Vigaras. It should not be, the preparation should be ideal. Then you can use it. Otherwise, all the Shonida Vigaras better say as contraindicated. We cannot say it as contraindicated. You should be very cautious. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir, I know we are running lack of time, but still one last question. It is, what is the best kashayam of your choice for post-viral fever in this pandemic era? Can you please guide us in that also, sir?
See, as I told you, I have completed the article review of 64 cases of COVID cases. All those are from NRIs. And if you look into the post-fever arthralgia like chikungunya, or if you see any other viral infection associated with arthritis, have to keep in mind two areas. Number one, following pitta vigaras has to be taken into consideration. Number one, skin eruption, pitta vigara. Number two, stomatitis, pitta vigara. Number three, krana nasham, pitta vigara. Number four, giddiness, pitta vigara. Number five, exfoliative erosions in the intestine, pitta vigara. Lymphadenitis, pitta vigara. Jwaram, that too in a high fever, pitta vigara. All, if at all present all these pitta vigara, you mind, very important point is that you are not supposed to write Ushna Tishna drug like Amrutara or Panchagola, Vettumaran or Lakshmi, Lakshmi I don't use. All Ushna Tishna drugs are not supposed to be used. Instead, in that area, the best management is coming out of Shadanga, Sudarsana, and Gopi Chandanadi, and Pajanamrdan Kwada. All these are the Tikta Pajana Dravyas, which is best for such conditions. This is the main principle that you have to keep it in mind while treating such fever associated viral infective diseases, whatever may be, whether it is pandemic or epidemic.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. I told us, as I told, this is a session we are thinking that it shouldn't end. It should continue. Sir, one query is in the screen where you have shared your WhatsApp number. I think there are only 9 digits displayed. I'm not sure. It was coming in the chat box.
Let me see, sir, that immediately I might have 1 minute. 1 minute.
Speaker.
Yes, you are true. That I will share you once more. I will share you once
Please
more.
share the number here, sir.
Share the screen. Thank you all. Share. 9447698085. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir, we are joined here with our director, Professor Kunjiraman, sir, who is Executive Director
Namaste.
of NDR Ayurveda Medical College. So I hand over the session to Professor Kunjiraman, sir, for his words. And thank you, sir. Over to Kunjiraman,
sir. Sir, thank you. Is it audible?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
It is audible, sir. It is audible.
Yeah, Namaskaram, Dr. Dinesh.
Namaskaram, sir.
In fact, it's a very provocative session as so far as MBR Academy is concerned. You have put so many questions also. So thank you for joining our webinar. And as all the participants knew that Dr. Dinesh is the right ambassador of Kottakkal Ayurveda Medical College. So he was also interacting with the MBR Academy and Ayurveda colleges and faculties. So most welcome then and there for your very informative interactions and sharing of your practical knowledge with the Vaidyas on very specialty areas just like autism, children's diseases, and etc. So we thank you one and more, and your versatile speech will be very useful for the faculties and also for the students also. I was just listening to your last version regarding a request to the Vaidyas and faculties that you must publish articles and papers in journals and exclusively avoiding the terminologies in the Ayurveda, kapha, pitta, vata, etc., etc., and shift to that of the usages and terms of that of the modern medicine. Then only we can have that is rocking the ship actually. You rock it, not just like not speaking in the negative sense. Our terminology has to be well accommodated and well digested by all the critics. There are critics regarding the modus operandi, the clinical trials, the approaches that Ayurveda is taking on. Necessarily, there may be and there is. So there are the acceptance of that of the so-called modern fraternities has to be enhanced to that level that Ayurveda is unique in many aspects, And also, I think you are also promoting the integrative approaches also. In fact, we have been using the holistic. More than that, as you know, our Vishwajitsa Kendram has been known in the area of integrity approach in the toxicology, treatment of snake bite, etc., etc. And usually I was sharing my concern regarding that this is the right time for the Ayurveda fraternity people to shift on to a new paradigm shift, whatever it may be. So thank you, Dr. Dinesh. We will get in touch with you for more talks, more interactions, more sharing of knowledge, and have a nice time. Thank you, one and all. Namaskar.
Thank you, Kunjiraman sir, and thank you very much, Dinesh sir, for accepting our request and joining us with your enlightening session. Thank you once again. And detailing on the schedule for tomorrow, we have Dr. Anju P. Ramachandran, Professor of Department of Kaya Chikinsa, who will be joining us with her presentation on clinical research in Ayurveda, a pathfinder. And that is on Friday, tomorrow. And on Saturday, we have Dr. Vinod Kumar MB, Professor, Department of Samhita Siddhanta, Cortical Ayurveda College, who will be detailing on the topic research methodology, ancient versus modern in the context of Ayurveda. So we are focusing on many presentations in the coming days. Please join us in this platform, which is open, and we are live on YouTube also. You could access the videos anytime in our YouTube channel, MBR Academy. So we are signing off for today. Thank you very much for joining us. Namaskar.
mouse favor last second.